What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Kmplxity. It's your boy Zeph. I have something a little different for you guys today. We're going to jump into the world of Death Stranding. We're also going to watch the recap that is a video provided by Sony. And then I'm going to also tell you guys a little bit about why this game means so much to me. Firstly, I want to thank everybody who's given us support on all of our past series, as well as, thank anybody who supports our future series. It's never been about the fame or views or support. It's always about being able to have the ability to make the things I love and share the things that make me happy. That being said, I'm excited to share with you one of my favorite games from the last decade, Death Stranding, as well as its soon-to-be predecessor, Death Stranding 2. Let's dive in. So, Death Stranding came out on November 8th, 2019 for the PlayStation 4 after being revealed at E3 2016. I personally beat the game on November 30th, 2019, shortly after the game released. When the game originally came out, I didn't mind the simple yet complicated gameplay of delivering packages. It was a unique gameplay mechanic with an addicting loop that asked me to not only be comfortable with the responsibility of delivering somebody else's packages, but as well as manage and overcome the various obstacles that you as the player will face. Timefall, rain that moves time forward on anything it touches. BTs, ghost-like apparitions that follow the timefall and demand you to slow down and plan your next move, or face the consequences. Mules, package delivering addicts that could bookend your game in seconds depending on how you, the player, respond. On top of this, you have a moving soundtrack that Hideo Kojima handpicked with the lights of Will Roar and Ludwig Fossil. The story of a post-apocalyptic America trying to come together again was only a prelude to the incoming catastrophe that would reshape our nation in the coming year. There's a childlike irony in the tagline for the game being "Tomorrow is in your hands." Sony and Kojima released a director's cut for Death Stranding that included improved visuals, a native PS5 version, as well as more in-game content on September 21st, 2021. Death Stranding 2 was revealed on December 8th, 2022, with an unknown release date. It wouldn't be until March 9th, 2025 that we would get an official trailer that revealed its release date of June 26, 2025. Merely 3 months to go before its release date. Death Stranding 2 takes place directly after Death Stranding with the tagline of "We should not have connected." A stark comparison of how our nation has come together as well as fallen apart after the events in 2020 to 2023. While both games are meant to be metaphors to the real world and the events that have taken place in it, I think Hideo Kojima is very on the nose. While there has been a plethora of information about the story, gameplay mechanics, as well as other aspects of the game via playtests and trailers, I didn't cover them here because I want my audience to have a similar experience to me when I play the game. A raw, unfiltered, unspoiled experience that is not only fun, but also, hopefully, moving and thought-provoking, just like the first game was to me. This game is special to me because I personally went through a great loss of my grandmother dying very unexpectedly a few months prior, and unfortunately my fiance would have a similar loss in 2020 a few months later. I always reflected on this game and its mind-bending story about loss, how to move forward, and the obstacles that lay in front of me in life. I felt very similar to Sam, someone who left his family to be on his own, and it made me want to reconcile with my own family in the same ways he did, as well as have my own journey of healing. Personally, at the time, the story didn't have that much sentiment to me, but now it does. It holds much more similarities to me than I could ever have imagined. I have had 2 beautiful children since this game has come out, and I find myself often feeling almost at odds and strange by holding a baby. It's always been a strange, alluring factor of Death Stranding, a journey of a man and a baby in a brutal and dark world of death and sorrow. At first, Sam holds the baby like it's a tool, a strange connection to the other side. But as the game continues, he gets closer, he finds comfort in the baby. He does things, as you'll see in this video of the recap, that defies the normal character that they once thought they knew of themselves. That being said, and how I feel about this game, let's dive into the recap of Death Stranding 1 and prepare for Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Alright guys, we got the trailer. You call it a trailer. It's a story recap provided from the PlayStation YouTube channel. I have not watched this yet. I am super excited because the story to Death Stranding is very all over the place. It's very raw at times. So just having a recap, having this fresh on my mind, especially having this my plan is to have this video a week out, so that way we can all watch it together. To have this fresh on the mind, so that we can go into Death Stranding 2 is awesome. I'm really excited for the game itself. So rather than keep yapping, let's just get into it.
Once there was an explosion. A bang which gave rise to life as we know it. And then came the next explosion.
America was a country. Anybody could go anywhere they damn well pleased. The Death Stranding poked us full of holes. And if you were lucky enough to survive, the timefall came and washed you away. Then those freaks from the beach showed up. The worlds of the living and the dead all mixed together.
You're a repatriate. That makes you very special.
Folks started holing up in the cities. Couriers like yourself got put up on a pedestal.
Sam Porter Bridges, the man who delivers. My name is Fragile. You have dooms like me.
And I can't spot BTs. Just sense them.
Wanna come work for me?
Sam, America's last president wants to see you in person.
Under Emily's leadership, we'll re-establish the United Cities of America. Emily went west.
We convinced community after community to join the UCA, and we left behind people to help them.
Okay, so I want to preface that this is the very, very beginning of the game. They put this on you in about 20 minutes. So I will say the first 20 minutes of, not even the first 20 minutes, almost the first hour of the original Death Stranding is so expositional, is so exposition heavy that it does make it very endearing to start. And in terms of gameplay, you don't really get into core gameplay until probably about an hour and a half in, which for a lot of people is not a good thing. But for me, I enjoyed the story. So all of this for me at the time, I was like, all right, hell yeah, let's go.
But then everything went to hell, and Emily was taken. Homo demons, militant separatist group. The people she left behind have been hard at work, setting up chiral network terminals. Bring them online. Find Emily, and bring her home.
Dooms and BBs are a good combination. Connect yourself, granting you the ability to sense BTs. It would seem the two of you have something of an affinity for one another.
So, what are you waiting for? Put us on the goddamn grid.
Bridge babies are quite literally.
The fact that this recap did not go over the cratering of Capital Knot City is crazy. Because that aspect of that introduction to Higgs, as well as the true nature, like the true like they say, oh, you can repatriate, but like the opening sequence where you truly go through the process and you're forced to go through it, as well as just seeing the scope of some of these things that are out in the world. It was very endearing, and it was very... I personally thought that was my hook. So it's a shame that they didn't really showcase it here. But, it's... Go experience it for yourself. It's within the first hour of Death Stranding. It's so good.
The bridges between this world and the other side. But BB-28 has been leaning further towards the world of the living. Towards you, Sam.
That's because we're partners.
Valid activation key confirmed. Interfacing with NOT network.
The name's Higgs, the particle of God that permeates all existence.
What if the manifestation of beaches and other associated phenomena correspond to extinction-level events? Evidence does suggest that Higgs brought them here.
We've had 5 mass extinctions, each caused by an extinction entity. And now it's time for number 6. And it wouldn't be possible without a Boy Scout like you. You gave me everything I needed, Sam. A complete chiral network, spread all across America.
They don't really go into a whole lot of Higgs's true motivations. I do hope that he is coming back for Death Stranding 2. So hopefully they go into more about his motivations and what is he a Dooms? Like, does he have the same abilities as Sam or as Fragile, or is he someone different? Like, what? There's a little bit about, you know, he has issues with his family, like his real life family, not real life, but like his in-game family and like stuff like that, and he used to be a porter, but they don't really explain a whole lot into what made Higgs who he is now and why he's so dead set on triggering the 6th extinction.
Dooms? People like us? She's the source of it all!
Extinction is a foregone conclusion.
So before they continue, I do want to preface something. He said something that is almost missable in the context of what he's saying. He's saying Dooms, the extinction level events, all of it is because of her, because of Amelie. I don't know if they're like I said, this is the first time I'm watching this, and I'm hoping that they, you know, explain a little bit about that. I will at the end if they don't, but just keep that in mind of what he said.
I had a little chat with Higgs. Didn't take much to make him talk. He said it was part of her plan.
What?
She was their leader. She wants you to go to her.
And talk her out of it.
There.
I've been waiting for you. In expanding the network, you brought people and their beaches together, but you also bound them to my beach, where I opened the gates to the other side.
I was broken. Sure as hell didn't care about America or the future. But somewhere along the way, I started meeting people that made me think that maybe it wasn't all bad. I'm here for you. Always.
Lou? So, before we get too far, I don't think they're going to go into the meat and potatoes of how Lou and Sam are connected, or how Amelie is connected to Sam. Amelie is connected to Sam because she is one of the original people who began the BB project. Sam was a bridge baby that throughout the story you see in flashbacks that eventually, due to his father becoming upset that his mother was not going to awake, as well as, trauma from being a part of the Vietnam War and other wars, he eventually tried to break the baby out of the facility, which resulted in his capsule, like the one he's holding here, breaking. And once he's out, you can't go back in. So Sam is a bridge baby. And once you know that, it kind of changes your perspective on the world. But Amelie is the person who raised Sam. He is like an adoptive mother. Unfortunately, Sam's mother died to essentially bring Sam to the living. The whole process of bridge babies, the science behind it all, it's very in-game technical. But Sam is a bridge baby, and Amelie essentially is the one who raised him. That's how they're so connected. It's very complicated. The game is very complicated, and I feel like 6 minutes isn't enough, but let's hope that in the last 40 seconds or so, or last minute or so, it gives us a little bit more clarification.
I just took your cufflinks offline. The UCA wouldn't know where you were. You'd be invisible.
See the sunset.
Okay, so that's the end of Death Stranding 1. Now I want to pause there because we're going to go into stuff that leads into Death Stranding 2. So as you saw, if you weren't paying attention, he took Lou, which is actually a girl, out of the bridge baby case, which, as you heard in the beginning of this, BB-28 is leaning more towards the side of the real world. There's a lot of, mythical and technicalities to all this, but sometimes bridge babies can lean too far to death and also too far to life. In this case, Lou was leaning too far into life. They marked it for extermination. Sam, growing close to Lou throughout his journey, said no, and he took Lou out of its case. We see here 1 year later that Lou is alive and they're living together alone. They left Drawbridge, or they left the Bridges network, and he has been portering on his own, I believe. So hopefully this gives us an answer of how we lead into Death Stranding 2.
It all happened so fast. We were attacked. I am so sorry.
Lou?
There's no pretending.
Okay, so we saw a quick flash of characters, as well as, we have the initial draw. Unfortunately, I don't know, and it's going to be really sad, I'm sure. But unfortunately, it sounds like something happens to Lou that causes Sam to, which puts our main character Sam on his path forward to what we are going to do throughout Death Stranding 2. Hopefully it gets Lou back, and hopefully we have a good resolution to the story. Death Stranding 1 kind of ended in a way to where it could have continued, but I was happy with how it ended. I'm hoping they do the same thing with this. As far as I know, Death Stranding 3 has not been confirmed. I don't even think that's even in the works. But like you saw, there's a flash of a whole bunch of characters such as Ellie Fannings. Yes, that Ellie Fannings. Tomorrow. The irony is the tagline for the past game was "Tomorrow is in your hands." I wonder if that's going to be brought up again. Then we also have Rainy. We have Dollman, and then we have a returning cast of characters such as Hartman, and then we have, I believe, we have Guillermo del Toro's Deadman. I think he makes a recurring character. I know that Lochna is supposed to make a flashback recurring. So there's a lot of characters that have been confirmed to come back that are strictly flashbacks. So if you look up the casting for Death Stranding 2, you're going to see a lot of returning cast members. Keep in mind that even some of those people are like Lindsay Wagner. I think she's confirmed to be a part of a flashback. Like she's Amelie, so she's going to have more of like a pivotal role, but I think it's only in the form of flashbacks. But people like Troy Baker, he's the main character. He's the main villain as far as I know. There may be another one. So that's the recap of Death Stranding 1. You now know my motivations on why I'm so excited. It's a very personal game for me, especially after having 2 children of my own. Having the ability to essentially grow with Sam as I have over the last couple years in my own ways, of course, but as well as being similar to him. It beckons that the story and I relate to it in certain ways, like I said earlier. So that being said, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really excited for Death Stranding 2. You can expect Death Stranding 2 on the beach the day after, like launch day. So I guess technically the game comes out on the 26th. It will technically come out on the 25th at 11 o'clock for me, and on the 26th you should have a video anywhere from an hour to 2 hours long. I will crank this bad boy out. It'll be very similar to Doom the Dark Ages. I am so excited to provide this for you guys. You guys will get a raw reaction. I'm not going to look at anything on the internet regarding the spoilers, regarding walkthroughs. This game, I'm so excited to play this game raw and unfiltered and just experience it like I did the first one. I don't know what compelled me to do it the first time, but I'm so excited to do it the second time. That being said, guys, peace out. Have a good one.